Turn our attention to the scourge of crime in our country, especially one area in South Africa. Today, the hashtag #YesAldos Again, the campaign marking 100 days of protest action against crime in the area. Community leaders and activists have actually been camping outside the Eldorado police station, the Eldorado Park police station now for nearly 3 months. Let's speak to Cheryl Pillay, the chairperson of the Yes Eldorado Park movement, joining us this morning. And Cheryl, good morning. Good to have you with us on the show. And over 100 days, 30 senseless killings in the area. Do you feel you are being heard? Good morning.
Good morning, Gareth, and good morning to the viewers. Yes, 100 days is a very long time that we've been camping out at the police station. And right now, it's a 50-50. We've made some impact, but we don't feel that it was enough. There's still a lot of outstanding matters, especially as far as what the police is concerned, and as well as some of the government departments that we've been engaging with.
We'll talk about what is still outstanding, if that's okay with you, Cheryl. I'd like to maybe just start here. What has been achieved? Are there any positives coming out of this 100 days outside the police station? Anything achieved?
Yes, look, we've had all the spheres of government come and engage with us in Eldorado Park. For the first 2 months, shall I say the first 60 days, we didn't really have any shootings. The crime has gone down. There's also been a lot of police visibility in certain of the areas that we've been involved with, although not enough. And then just in the last 25 days, we've had again a rise and a spike in the shootings in the community. We've also had a better insight into what actually happens at the police station by being camping out at the police station. A lot of community members that goes in and don't get the service would then stop at the tent, and we could then assist them with getting the necessary services that they require.
I understand there's going to be a media briefing later today, Cheryl, if my memory serves me correctly. Phase 2 of this campaign. This is where I'd like to hear what hasn't worked and how do you address that in Phase 2, if I have it correct.
That's correct. Phase 2, we're going to reveal it today, basically, when we do the media release. We've engaged with the Office of the Premier, we've engaged with the National Commissioner, we've engaged on the different spheres of government, and there's a lot of outstanding issues. And obviously, being 100 days at the police station cannot be sustainable to everybody that is there. So we need to look at our next level of intervention, and that's what we're going to reveal today.
Could you give me, I know there's a media briefing, which is what we're talking about. Can you give me one thing that South Africa needs to know about this campaign? What is the one thing you want to have change from the SAPS in Eldorado Park to try and get back to those numbers of the first 60-odd days you mentioned where there was an improvement? What's the one thing that has to change today with Eldorado Park and SAPS?
Service delivery on every level and the will to serve. I think one of the things we realize is government responds very quickly to violent protests, to burning of tires. We have gone on a non-violent, peaceful protest. And taking on government, especially when we've done it through the media, you obviously get victimized and you almost like pushed aside because you're calling them out on what they're not doing. And we've had many engagements, and we're hoping that some of them will develop in the new year. There's a lot on the table, but we're still not satisfied. And as far as what the SAP is concerned, that's a very, very big problem, because it basically, the violence begins and ends with the will to serve and make our community safer by the South African police. And there's really a lack when it comes to the service delivery from police.
Well, Cheryl, no doubt. Continue, forgive me, please continue. I thought you were stopping, continue.
with the National Commissioner, with the General, where we've asked them for visibility in the hotspots. And if they had camped out and done what we had asked them to do, several of the deaths that had happened would not have happened. But it's almost a delayed response. We sit in a meeting, we have visibility for 2 to 3 days, and then the boots on the ground is gone, and then the crime continues. If I take you into the hotspots, in many of those hotspots, it's still business as usual. The drug peddling, everything continues. And until we raise our voice again, then we have the visibility, and it lasts for nothing but one day. And as well as even the known criminals in the community that's walking around. So every time we make a noise, we get a response. When we quiet, they kind of just know.
And
Even
that's the
the
saddest part, I
community.
think, of all of this, Cheryl, and I think this is why we're going to stay on the story when you have this media briefing later, because that shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't just be when you're making a noise. It's been 100 days so far. The peaceful protest is going to continue. Cheryl, I'm going to say thank you to you very much. I'm sure we're going to speak to you again and cover this event later in the day. Cheryl Pillay is the chairperson of the Yes Eldorado Park movement, and it's been 100 days now, and it's going to continue as well with that protest outside the Eldorado Park police station. My team